Hello everyone, this is Avinindra from CG Artist Academy and I'm back with a new tutorial how to create a crown splash with RealFlow 10. So let's get started. You can see I am already in RealFlow 10. Okay, so all I need to do is go to my relationship editor, click tab, so you get the menu, and I will type here emitter, diversometer. I need diverso. Okay, I'm not getting it. Domain. So let's go directly here, and I can type circle. Okay, so for the tutorial I'll be needing a circle emitter. Just delete this hub, and in the domain, let's not do anything right now. Okay, another thing I need is a plane. Okay, and let's delete the hub, connect this plane to diverso domain. Okay, now next I need is gravity. Let's create it. Gravity, again connect it with the domain. Next I need is my crown. All I'm doing is gathering all the tools which I need to create this crown splash. Delete this also and select this. Okay, so now select the plane, and for the plane, first of all we need to scale it. Maybe the value is 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. I'm pressing the tab to get to the change the value of another axis. Okay, now cell size should be 0.02. The more the cells, the better your simulation get. Okay, so next what I need to change is next parameter is collision distance. It will be 0. So actually it is the distance between particle and the surface area, so I don't want any distance between those, so I'm putting it to 0. Okay, the bounce will be 0.5. I guess that's it for the plane. Oh, one more thing is left. In the y-axis I have to drag it down around minus 275. I use these values so I know how to put the exact value. Next thing we want to do is few changes in gravity. So let's start with enabling fall off, display fall off, and the fall off percentage should be 0. Okay, and in this I'll be needing a plane. Yes, in the top transformation, in the y-axis of the position, we have to put the value of 0.0915 or whatever the positive value. It should be a little bit up from the ground. So now gravity is done. Next we have to change few settings in diverso emitter. Okay, first of all we need to scale it around 6.5 because I need a splash a little bit bigger. So 6.5 in the 3 of the axis x, y and z. Okay, and in position I will give some negative value to the y-axis, which is minus 0.0245, which is good enough for me. And go to this volume. We need the volume, we don't need any speed in the emitter because we don't have to emit, we just need volume so that our crown splash will pull the particles up. So in the volume, let's do the 2, I guess. Yeah, now you can see there is a volume, which I guess it's a lot. We need to drag it down. I guess 0.2 should be fine. Yeah, 0.2 is fine. Let's save. Control S to save. Now we have to change domain values. So let's get started with the resolution. Let's for now make it 5. So if I reset the real flow, you can see here the particles will increase. Like now it's 28,950 particles, and we will put some higher value for this resolution to get the final simulation. Okay, for now 5 is, I guess, it's better for now. Okay, the second thing is the external pressure. I'll be putting the value of 1 here. Now surface tension, I need to have the higher value in this, around 12, and which will be like a constant in this tutorial because I'm not changing this value much. So with this value you can create drops and tendrils, and this value is very important when you're creating some splash or basically milk, these kind of things. So surface tension is really important. Okay, so later in this tutorial we will add a surface tension daemon also. For now we are good to go. So next thing is crown. Okay, now my crown is selected. First thing is strength. Okay, so strength is like a if you put a higher value, like it's now 80, we'll be taking this for now, we'll tweak it later. So with the crown's strength higher value, it will accelerate and your crown will grow quickly, and if you are increasing the value, depends on other properties also. Okay, so we are not touching it right now. Okay, the next thing is creation time. So if it remains to 0, your crown will start growing from the frame 0 or whatever the frame you have started, like 1, 2, whatever. Okay, so it will be calculated in seconds. So for me, I'll be like having it 0.5. I don't want it from the beginning. Okay, you can see here again there is a surface tension over here, so we are letting it by default. Okay, now the other thing is the spike counts. So right now it's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So in my case I'll be having 9 spikes. It completely depends on you how many tendrils or spikes you want in your splash. Okay, so you can control it by this value. Okay, now next is crown thickness, and or we can say crown width. With this value you can increase the thickness of the crown. Okay, so I am just letting it the default value. Now other thing is sheeter parameter, which is very important. Okay, so what sheeter does is, actually the main purpose of sheeter is to detect the holes in particle fluid, and it has to fill them, but without increasing the resolution of the emitter. Okay, so when I'm using this, later I will add the sheeter daemon also. So for now the default value is fine. Now what I need is, I need to edit my crown. So for that you need to click on this pen. So now we have control. Let me quickly do the editing. So I'm done with editing. It has the controllers, like here you can like change the way you want to be. Okay, you can select these pointers. So if I'm increasing this, it's a higher value, so the spike will like flow to the higher value. So I guess I'm done with it. Click again to get into the scene, and I guess we are good to go to check what our initial setup looks like. Control S to save, Control A to reset all data, and press A on a keyboard to start the simulation. Let's see. So my basic simulation is done. I need to hide my crown from here, so you can see if I scrub the timeline, it's working already. Correct. So what else I need to do is, now I have to change my FPS. which is right now is 60 fps. Okay, it's completely depends on you guys, whatever the fps you want to take. I'll be like dealing with 25 fps. I want is in real time. If you want to a slow motion and all, you can increase the fps by 60, 120, whatever you need. Okay, for me I'll be just simulating in 50 frames, so let's quickly do that. Control A to reset. Let's reset. Control S. Now again simulate. Press A to simulate. So as I change the FPS, now simulation is completely changed. So now we have to change few settings. In ground daemon, we have to decrease our strength, which is 80, which is very high, and now we have to like increase our surface tension also. It will be 60, and let's increase the resolution also, make it 10. And what else we need to do? Okay, let's Control A to reset and Control S and again simulate. Yeah, we are getting there. Absolutely, we are getting there. So you can see I just decreased the strength value and my splash is looking quite better from earlier. Now I need to increase my resolution and add some demons. Now let's add another demon, which is Sheeter. Delete this hub, connect the Sheeter to here and bring it over here, because all demons are over here. Okay, by default it's 2. Let's have the value of 1.2, which works good in this case. Use velocity alignment because this feature improved the quality of simulation with thin sheets. Okay, so our Sheeter is done. Next we need to add again a new daemon, which is surface tension. Okay, delete this hub and again move it here, connect it, and we need to change few surface tension values. So surface tension could be defined as the property of the surface of a liquid that allows it to resist the external force due to the cohesive nature of the liquid substance molecule. So here we have a model in which we are going to use curvature equation. Why? According to real flow, it calculates more accurate surface tension. So in the strength, we'll increase the strength to 10. We are ready to simulate again now. So press A to simulate again. As you can see, my simulation is done. Now we have to increase the particles because we don't have much particles to generate the detailed ground splash. So let's go to the domain and increase it to around 75 for now. Control A, and you can see here now our particles is increased. Okay, it's now 4,74,616 particles now. Let's simulate again. Control S and press A to simulate. So as you can see, it's halfway, or I am not getting the way my crown I wanted to. So I need to change my particle type, which is right now liquid PVD, which is position based fluids. So let's change to liquid SPH, which is smooth particle hydrodynamics. Okay, so let's go over here. In the simulation tab there is a arrow. There you can find option, and go to this driver. So okay, all the settings are fine. Okay, let's Control A and reset the simulation, Control S, and let's simulate again. So now you can see simulation is completed, and when I'm scrubbing my timeline, you can see the last version was not looking properly, but right now it's getting the shape. So all I need to do is increase the surface tension of this fluid. So in this surface tension tab, I need to increase around 12 and Control A to reset the simulation, and again press Control S to save your file and hit A on your keyboard to start the simulation again. Let's see how it comes right after this. The simulation is done now, and for the final simulation I need to change the resolution. And one more thing, go to the crown splash and crown width, do it 0.2, and in the domain final resolution should be around 150. Okay, so let's Control A. So simulation is reset now, and to lay out these nodes, click on this icon and press OK. So the layout is done now and it's ready to simulate now. So let's hit Control A again. It's reset now, and press A to simulate. So the particle simulation is done, and as you can see, it has a really heavy particle. So now I can see the details over here, like these tendrils. You can see in perspective view. It's looking a really nice crown splash. The next part is, now we have to do is meshing. Let's do some meshing over these particles. So select your domain and go to this mesh tab, and we will be applying particle VDB meshing. Okay, so select this and particle mesh VDB. So now we have a mesh. So let's see what its default value give us the result. Right click on the VDB mesh and click on build. So you can see it's giving us a default mesh. Press 0 to see the shaded. Okay, it's a very thick volume, so we need to do some tweaking over here. Select your mesh and go to your polygon size. Okay, put the value around 0.02. The smaller the value, the more detail you get, but definitely at the same time your file size will be increased. So let's again right click and build. Let's see what changes this value will give us. It's calculating. So as you can see, I decreased the value and now we have much more detailed mesh, but there are so many these bumps and all, so we have to solve this. We need a smooth mesh. So to do that, again select your mesh and go to here filters, filter mesh, click on this. Yes, now you can see we have more values like thinning, relaxation, tension and steps. First of all, we will deal with thinning. I will give the value of 0.2, so because I don't need this kind of blobby mesh. Okay, so 0.2 value. Now see what changes this setting will make. So yeah, thinning is working. And one more thing I need to add is the filters, volume filters. So click here and click on this plus icon, and we'll be adding the smooth filter. Give it a value of around 3, I guess, and let's see what result it gives. Right click, build. Definitely it's more smooth now, but still we need more smooth. And to do that, we'll add more smooth value here, like 5. But listen guys, if you increasing these values, definitely your mashing will take more time. So it completely depends on you how far you're gonna go. Okay, now the mash is smooth. Yeah, it's looking far better from earlier. So let's do one more thing. Add a new filter, which is erode. What it does, it surfaces the mash towards inwards. Okay, so let's push the mash by 0.4 so we can get a less thick mash. Right click, build again. So okay, this value is like more satisfying with me. Now let's move to the another attribute, which is relaxation. With this value you can achieve more natural look. So for starters, I'll be using 0.2. Then tension, if you are getting like these ripples or pattern kind of mesh which we get sometimes when we are meshing the particles, so with this value, with this parameter, we can control that. 0.2, let's make 0.3 both of them. 0.3, and sub steps will be around 16, and these sub steps only affect this relaxation and tension value only. Let's build the mesh again. Right click, build. So let's see how the mesh is looking now. It's looking really nice. As you can see, as you all guys can see, there is a very less those artifacts and patterns, and it's looking quite smooth. For now I guess it's looking better, and definitely you can tweak more to get a better result, and it's all up to you guys. So next is we need to export this mesh. So click on the mesh and go here, build sequence mesh, the middle one. Okay, and before that we have to check in which format we want to export it. Right now by default it's exporting in ABC, like Alembic file. I need the bin, so I can tick on that. Whatever the format you want, you can select over here. So I don't need the Alembic node, like Alembic format, so I'm not enabling it. I just only want the bin format, so it's enabled. And now all I need to do is click on this build mesh sequence, click it. Guys, one thing I guess I forgot. Before starting the mesh sequence, you need to go to your frame 0, otherwise it will start from the frame you are having right now. Okay, so go to your the initial frame, the start frame, and then click build mesh. So let's do that, and it will start. Let's see after this. So guys, meshing is done and it's looking quite nice. You can see here we got the really nice mesh here, and it's already exported, which is here in my case. So let's move forward to the another module of our tutorial, which is importing this mesh in Maya. So save it and let's go to Maya. So here we are in Maya. First thing we need to do is click on this option and here you can change the FPS to 25 because we have simulated all the particles at 20 FPS. So our initial frame in RealFlow was 0, so let's start our frame with 0, and we have 50 frame of timeline, so 50 frames, all set. Go to this RealFlow shelf. If you guys don't know about this shelf, when you download the RealFlow plugin, it gives you a Maya plugin also, Max plugin, and whatever the software you are using, Cinema 4D or whichever the 3D software you are using. So you need to install that, then only you can import that mesh. Otherwise you have to export your mesh in Alembic format, ABC format, then you can import that from here. Alembic cache, import Alembic here. Okay, but I am gonna import bin files, so I'll be needing RealFlow plugin. So click on this and go to the folder I have exported my particles mesh, mesh, and here is it. Okay, create. So now we have a mesh here in Maya. I can show you. See, it's really nice. Till here our work is almost done. All we need is to create a camera, then light and shade this mesh. So first of all we need to create a camera, so go to create, and here we can find camera and create the camera. Okay, so let's rotate this by pressing E, Control A to the settings, and rotation value minus 90. Sorry, minus 90. Okay, press W to get the translate value and push it back, maybe around minus 15. Sorry. Okay, so this value is fine. Rename your camera, main cam. I always rename my things because it's really nice. If someone else is using your file, it will be easier for them to see and look at the things which you have created. It's good when you work in a pipeline, so always remember that. Okay, let's lock all these values because I'm not be touching these camera attributes by itself. I'll be using locator to do that. Log this out, and now create locator. This will be my camera controller. Yeah, just scale this with this local scale. It's 3444. Yeah, now with the middle mouse drag main camera in your locator, so it's now the camera is parent to this locator. Go to panel, perspective, main camera, click on this resolution gate, and again panel, tear off camera copy, so that I can see what position I am, what angle I am creating with this. Okay, so rotate it, change its global scale to world, scale it down a bit more. Now translate here. I guess this is the perfect camera angle for me now. And if you want, you can definitely change your focal length, which is 35 by default. I can use 45, and now I need to scale up. Okay, fine, the angle is completely fine now. You can do whatever you want to, the angle you need to. Okay, let's close this and camera, and don't forget to save your file because sometimes Maya crash. So let's save this quickly. So whenever you are saving your file, go to the shading and click on bounding box. So whenever you are reopening your file, it takes less memory to open the file. So it's really optimized way to save your file. So everything is set up now. Now I need is to change my render settings. Here in the render settings, render using, I need to change it to redshift, which is here now. In this file output, I need to change my extension with prefix scene underscore render layer, again in front render layer again, and in between here there should be a okay, and I need OpenEXR, force, combine beauty, multi EXR, animation 0 and 50, whatever the timeline you have, you can make it. Okay, change your camera, render level camera to main camera, change your render settings. I'll be using 720 for this now, and that's it. We'll change other settings later. Let's save this. Now let's add shader to your mesh. +4, okay, press 5 to see the shaded. Select your mesh, right click, and assign a material to this. New material, select shader and select redshift material over here. Okay, we have given the redshift shader. Control save, Control S to save, and next thing we need to do is go to this redshift tab, click on light, and we'll create the dome light. Rename it, mostly I do HDRI, it's up to you. In here you can put the map. Okay, select here, I have maps in my drive, work, maps. I'll be using this EXR for my rendering for now. Okay, and next I need to do is environment. If you don't want to see the environment, just disable it. Okay, so you won't be seeing it in your alpha. Okay, Control S, again go to redshift render view, and click here. It's rendering now. So next what we need to do is increase the intensity around 0.5, and with this icon you can save the snapshot. Again click to render again. Okay, it's always good to do your lighting in the basic material, so you will get to know where the highlights and everything is coming. So next we need to do is we need to create a backlight, because after all with the milk shader it will be like a translucent or a subsurface scattering kind of feel. So let's snapshot of this image also, perspective, and we need to go to perspective, again create a light. We'll be creating physical light here. Press E to rotate, and minus 90 W, and translate backwards in the x-axis and scale it somehow this, and change your orientation to object so that you can change its local scale. Okay, rotate towards the object, yeah, push it back a bit upper side, and yeah, that's fine. We are not going to use the default color. We will have a map for this light. I never use default color in lighting, in light. I always use light maps. It gives you a more realistic output. So where should I go? Okay, maps, light maps, and I'll be using, let's say, warm light map, and make sure color space should be raw, it shouldn't be RGB. Okay, for now let's hide this, that I only need to see my backlight intensity. So select this, Ctrl A for the attributes, and drop down the intensity by 20 for now, and let's see how the output comes. Render again, escape to cancel your render. I don't want light visibility, so uncheck this button, visible, and again press render. I guess intensity is too much. Let's bring it down by 13. Let's take a screenshot, render again. Yeah, it's better now. And next I need to change shader settings, because it's not an in-depth tutorial. I'm just taking some shortcuts. So in the Redshift shader you have this option, presets. Just open it and go to the Milk Cafe. Let's see by default what it gives you a result. Click render. It's giving you the triple S and translucent effect, but there is so much noise which we will deal later. And yeah, it's getting there, it's giving that translucent feel. So next thing I need to do is select your shader. It's already selected. Go to the coating tab, and in coating there is a weight option. Just put the value of 1. Okay, because I'm not getting any kind of specular in this, so I'll be needing that. And enable your HDRI. Okay, and again in the light, intensity should be 12. Okay, and let's take a snapshot and render it again. So now we are getting the specular and reflections also, but still there is a noise, and a few more settings we need to tweak. Okay, so let's go to the render settings. First take the snapshot. In here GI, there is no GI, so let's enable it. So now change your primary GI engine to brute force and secondary to brute force as well. Okay, and for the noise reduction, let's start with 16 and here 128, and let's see how it comes after this. Click render. So my render is now with very less noise. You can see the comparison. Okay, so now let's move to the final tweakings. Okay, let's snapshot this image, and first of all I need to change my light map because it's too warm. So change it I have another one which is not that warm. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, it's changed. Now the thing need to do is change few settings in my shader. So let's enable this weight, because why I'm doing this, let me tell you, because I'm getting too much transparency here, which I don't want. Okay, so to do that, let's enable this. Let's 0.6 value, and in refraction 0.8, and subsurface, I need to increase my scatter scale, should be 35. Guys, I have already used these values, so that's why I know which value will work in this case. I know, so you can experiment with you, whatever the value suits you. Okay, it's all about experimentation. Okay, and another thing is, go to the subsurface layer, and we need to give the same color value to the diffuse. Okay, so let's go over here and click here. Now it has the same value. So when you click on this, it's already snapshot the color range over here in Maya. Okay, so if I click here, it's snapshot. Now again, if I see, you can see now we have two different colors. So that's how you can change your values. So it's done now. What else is needed? Okay, one more thing I need to add is a backdrop, which is really required. Okay, let me do that very quickly. Okay, create polygon plane, scale it, yeah, and go to input properties, make it 1, scale it in z-axis a bit. Okay, and right click edge, select the edge, just translate this, and now all we need to do is to extrude this edge. Okay, again select this edge, go to your polygons, click here and extrude. Okay, it's done. Again shift right click and insert edge loop tools on its box. You will get this tool settings. Okay, and all I need is multiple edges, so let's 2 is fine here. So now click here and click here. Let's see, press 3 to see the smooth option. Yeah, it's working for me. I don't want to add more edge loops. Select the smash, edit, delete by type, history. Okay, again why this is happening, I guess it's in, yeah, now it's fine. So again we need to apply a shader on it, new shader, yeah, new shader, redshift, and we'll give the value same as the liquid shader. Okay, one more thing I need to do is go to its properties, render stats, and primary visibility should be switched off, so it won't appear in my render, but definitely it will affect the transparency, refractions and everything, specular and all, so it will affect on everything. Okay, one more thing I am doing here is changing my that. Resolution, I am rendering in 540 now because it's just a tutorial, so I have to render it very fast. It's up to you how what resolution you want to render. You can render 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, whatever. Okay, let's hit render again. Okay, it's giving the burnout effect, so we don't need that. What we can do is apply the same shader which we have for the splash. So go to the hypershade, and select this and click here to see your material, and now again select the plane and apply the same shader. It's applied, and just rename it backdrop. Okay, let's re-render again. Don't forget to save your file. Render. So it's giving the burnout effect. We need to fix that, and to do that what we can do is okay, so get rid of this burnout effect. We need to do decrease the lighting intensity. I just make it 6 and render it again. So we need to decrease some more value here, like 3, because still I'm getting this burnout effect. Let's render it again. So we are there, and the burnout is almost gone. Let's render the whole frame and take it forward. So just remove this region render and hit render again. So guys, this is the final result for the tutorial, and it's quite nice, I guess. And if you want to tweak more, you can tweak the shader settings, light settings, and whatever things you like. It's all about experimentation. Okay, so for this, if you want to render the sequence, go to the render settings. It's already, everything is set. Go to edit, change path, and change your folder wherever you want to render. Like here, I want to render it here. Create a folder, render whatever the version you have, version 001, and just select it, and it's done. Last thing you need to do is render and batch render. That's it. After that your sequence will be rendered, and you can compose it in whatever software you like, Natron or whatever. Okay, it's completely up to you. So thanks for watching this tutorial, guys, and I hope you find this tutorial helpful. I tried to cover up things, and definitely comment below what things you don't like, what things you like, what should I on what topics I should make more tutorials. Let me know in the comment below. Like, share and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.